My question, if my thoughts and feelings and senses and perceptions are offline, what am I experiencing?
That's a very good question. So
That's it.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to throw the question back to you. It's a beautiful question. That is a very good example of the questions I gave you yesterday. Gave you earlier. What is it that is aware of your experience? It's a very good alternative formulation. When I am not thinking, feeling, sensing, or perceiving, what am I? That's the question. If I were to answer you with a word, that would just give you another thought. But you have to answer that question in your experience. And there are often moments in your experience, the gap between two thoughts. The experience of deep sleep. The fulfillment of a desire, a moment of astonishment. There are many times in your life where there is this interruption, this pause, when your mind is not focused, when your mind just defocuses from the content of your experience. What are you experiencing then? That's a great question, but answer that from your own experience. What remains of yourself when your thoughts and perceptions are, as you say, no longer online?
Nothing.
You have the experience of being nothing?
Well, I can get to a place when I'm meditating where all of a sudden I'll realize, hey, I wasn't thinking of anything there for a few minutes, but of course now I'm thinking of that. I wasn't thinking.
So what was present in your experience when you're not thinking?
Well, I guess that's my problem, because everything I know is an experience. And if you take away all my experiences, I don't know what's left.
I know. Everything I know is an experience. You take away the experience, all that remains is I know. All that remains is knowing or consciousness. You said it beautifully. Everything you know is an experience. I know my experience. I know my thoughts, feelings, sensations, and perceptions. I, awareness, know my thoughts, feelings, sensations, and perceptions. You take away your thoughts, feelings, sensations, and perceptions, I, awareness, remains, knowing nothing. That's what remains. What remains when all King Lear's thoughts, feelings, activities, and relationships disappear? John Smith.
So it's not an experience.
No. It's that which knows all experience. It's that which enables all experience to be, but is not itself an experience. What remains when the movie comes to an end? The screen. The screen is not an object in the movie. What remains when content of experience comes to an end? Just the presence of awareness. The presence of awareness is not itself an experience.
I will recognize that. Is it recognizable?
It's a self-recognition. Yes, but it's not recognizable as an object of experience. You cannot find it in your experience. You can only be that knowingly. You can't experience that as an object in the same way that you know your thoughts and feelings, for instance. You can only You can only be that knowingly. You can't know it as an object.
That's the hard part to comprehend.
Well, it's hard for the mind. It's hard for the object-knowing mind. Because the object-knowing mind, by force of habit, always wants to know an object. So it wants to turn awareness. King Lear wants to turn John Smith into somebody in his government that he can relate to. But John Smith will never be a friend of King Lear's, someone King Lear can know. So the object-knowing mind wants to turn its essence, its nature, into an object that it can know. It's not possible. And that's frustrating for the mind until it understands this. And when it understands this, that frustration goes. Because the mind ceases to seek for awareness as an object of its own experience. The mind begins to relax back into awareness rather than reaching forwards for it.
So I'll know it when I get there. But not,
If you could only get somewhere that was an object of your experience, you're never going to get there. You are that.
it's very subtle.
It's very subtle.
Thank you.
But your question is a beautiful question and a very well formulated question. What am I when my thoughts, feelings, sensations and perceptions come to an end? That's a beautiful question. That goes straight to the heart of the matter. So just live with that question. To really live with that question. To take this whole week. If you didn't listen to anything else the whole week, I mean this seriously, if you just took that one question, what am I in the absence of thought and perception? When I say thought and perception, it just stops me having to say thoughts, feeling. By thought and perception, I mean the full range of your objective experience. What am I in the absence of thought and perception? To contemplate that question. It's a beautiful question.